Are you serious? Are you serious? Well, guys, this is a very serious moment because what we're hearing is that there's cancer in the kingdom, but we're finding out that the situation is worse than was reported. Let me tell you all about that in just a moment. First, put a shout out right now, if we could, for www.pastorpaulgold.com. That's www.pastorpaulgold.com. Hey, have you taken a really good look at the banks lately? On the surface, everything seems fine, but there's a whole lot more going on underneath. It's like looking under the hood of a car and finding this mess of broken wires and parts. The parts are the loans that were made for the homes, interest rates rising on them, and of course the cars and the credit cards and everything else. They're all hitting record highs of interest rates. It's kind of scary when you think about it. Why risk your money, though, for a tiny 5% return when things are so shaky? This is where Noble Gold comes into play at www.pastorpaulgold.com. They're like that friend who knows all about keeping money safe. They suggest that you invest in gold and silver. These are oldies but goodies in this finance world. Matter of fact, gold is a biblical currency. Plus, they got a great sweet deal right here. 1/4 of an ounce gold standard coin can be yours this month for free if you qualify. That's pretty cool. So if you're curious, just pick up the phone and call them at 877-646-5347. That's 877-646-5347. Have a chat with them. No pressure. Go to www.pastorpaulgold.com. All right. So this significant situation here, very significant situation that we're talking about in the kingdom. In the kingdom. No doubt about it. Let me just share with you some information that we've found out that the first of all, that the cancer of King Charles is reportedly worse than originally reported, and we pretty well thought that. But because of the fact that it was announced that he was shutting down all of his duties as king and was going straight in for treatment and to take on this thing. So you suspected it, but now I have verification now that it is worse. And we'll tell you more about that. Now, Prince Harry has been shunned. According to reports, Prince Harry went to England to see his dad when the news broke, but he only stayed for 24 hours, and he's back in America. He was shunned. He did see his father, and that was good, but one day is all he had. The Duke of Sussex. He's 39 years old, Prince Harry. He has returned to California after a very quick trip to see his father following the news that the king was diagnosed with cancer. Prince Harry was photographed when he landed in London's Heathrow Airport, reportedly, and then he was again spotted at Heathrow when he was leaving to head back home on Wednesday. 24 hours is all he spent in the country. He did not meet with his brother, Prince William. Harry made the trip from the UK without his wife, Meghan Markle, or his children, Prince Archie, who's 4, and Princess Elizabeth, that's 2. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have settled in their home in California and left their royal roles in 2020. Now, Prince Harry has arrived in the UK, but he only spent just a little bit of time with the king. The information we're getting is, in a private conversation, is that it's not good, that the cancer is worse than originally released. And so King Charles, who's 75, personally picked up the phone and personally informed his sons, Prince Harry and Prince William, of his diagnosis. and before he ever made a public announcement from Buckingham Palace. Of course, we all know that the cancer diagnosis after King Charles went in and had a procedure done to treat a benign enlarged prostate on January 26th. But 1 week after he left the London clinic following a 3-day stay there and surgery. However, the palace clarified he does not have prostate cancer, but he does have cancer. And so what we're finding out is that cancer is worse than was originally reported. And William is on the rise. He is taking on the duties that are being vacated right now by his father. And this is and he's rising quickly. So we've been watching this, realizing that something's up. Okay, it's way out of content. And it's kind of ironic, really, because King Charles III waited his whole life to become king, and then when he did become king, he's only been king for about 17 months, and now he has been diagnosed with cancer. It is not prostate cancer. It's a different type of cancer, and he has to go into an aggressive treatment plan for this. Reports that are leaking out right now is that the cancer is worse than originally reported. And this is the reason for the phone call to Harry and to William. This is the reason that William is taking over the duties. And I understand that the king is doing some light work as it relates to domestic signing of documents and that kind of thing. But all of the public appearances and the charities and the different responsibilities, that's fallen to his son William. William is poised at age 41. He is poised to become a king and may become king much sooner than any of us anticipated. And this is a game changer because his philosophy, we know, is very liberal, very climate change oriented. Even though he has been very staunch royal, his ideology is totally different. Okay, so this is very interesting what this is going to mean. We're going to be watching it closely because I think it's a game changer. And so, of course, we're praying for the king to get better, to the treatments, aggressive treatments will work, and that he will recover. But I'm preparing you now that there's a change, there's a shift going on, and it looks like that Prince William is on the rise. We'll talk more about this right after this song. I see geese flying high above the water, a child fishing with his father in the rain. I can smell blackberry brandy and chocolate-covered candy. I see a soldier crying on a train, falling asleep, reading Hemingway. And the light under the Tiffany lamp glows all night long as I dream with weary wonder, leaving earth before the dawn. I walk the lonely streets of Paris. I was lost and so afraid, falling asleep, reading Hemingway. I feel the deepness of his weakness. I can taste the brandy sweetness at a rose roadside Idaho cafe. I can hear old Teddy laughing, Fitzgerald's toes a-tapping to the roaring sounds of yesterday. Falling asleep, reading Hemingway, and the light under the Tiffany lamp glows all night long as I dream with weary wonder, leaving Earth before the dawn. I walked the lonely streets of Paris. I was lost and so afraid, falling asleep, reading Hemingway. And the light under the Tiffany lamp glows all night long as I dream with weary wonder, leaving Earth before the dawn. I walked the lonely streets of Paris. I was lost and so afraid, falling asleep, reading Hemingway. And a shotgun blast echoed across the page, falling asleep, reading Hemingway. Reading Hemingway. It's very possible, folks, that Prince William will become the King of England sooner rather than later, and probably will be the last king of England as we get closer and closer to the coming of Jesus Christ, and with the signs everywhere. You know, we talk about this in our book Revelation 9:11, how that the kingdoms of this world are being fully established now, but there will be a time when every kingdom will kneel before the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. So pray one for another and prepare your families. Pray for the United Kingdom and pray for, of course, each and every one of your families. The time that people give their life to Jesus Christ, because we truly are, without a doubt, we're running out of time. If you watched last night's broadcast with Mike Around the World, it was phenomenal. First of all, it was a doubleheader. We interviewed Mondo de la Vega, and of course, he is the executive producer and co-host of the Jim Baker Show. His testimony is unbelievable, from being a street gangster to grace. It's an incredible story. So that was our first interview, and then Mike from the World came on and dropped a lot of bombs last night, preparing us for the things that are about to take place. President Trump won the Nevada caucus with a 99%, and Begley got 1%, and Haley, instead of being in the caucus against Trump head-to-head, she decided to do the Nevada primary, which didn't count. And she got beat 63% for none of the above, and Haley got 30% against none of the above. That's pretty, wow. You talk about embarrassing. And then the Supreme Court sounded like totally are going to rule in President Trump's favor on leaving him on the ballot in Colorado, and that'll pretty well leave him on the ballot throughout the entire nation. So that took place. And then, of course, the Department of Justice announced last night that they were not going to file charges against President Joe Biden. They did say he took classified documents and had them in 3 different locations, including the garage at his house in Delaware next to the Corvette. But they're not going to charge him because no jury would convict him. They would see him as an elderly man uh, um, struggling with memory problems, and they would be sympathetic to him. So there was no need. So in other words, he did do it, but there's no need to take him to court or charge him because of his condition. And this is big news. The big news, because you're saying he's not cognitive enough to stand trial, yet he is still cognitive enough to be president of the United States. This is very conflicting. So you have cancer in the kingdom. Which kingdom are we talking about? I really think that King Charles III will be stepping down in the near future, turning over the throne to his son William. And I do think that Joe Biden may be asked to go ahead and finish his final year as president, but not to become the nominee, and to let the Democrat Party choose someone else. It's very possible that that's going to happen, and that we're starting to see the wheels coming off. Anytime the media turns on a Democrat, it usually means that the end is near for them, because the media is generally always on the side of the Democrat presidents. So this is very interesting what we're watching. Very interesting. And William is a totally different person than Charles. His philosophy, his ideology is more on a woke agenda side, not completely, but certainly leaning that way. So we got to watch and see what this all means. This is the end times. Find out about my book, Revelation 9/11. You can get it at Amazon.com. It rolls out March 26th. And I want to thank you all for being so faithful, and you're getting ready to receive a copy. Some of you are getting more than one copy. I seen this morning that we were ranked number 10 on the Amazon list for church and state, the category of church and state. We were now number 10. And look, people need this book because they need to know what's going on in these end times. I'll be back with more current world events and how they relate to biblical prophecy. Please, if you haven't given your life to Jesus, several people got saved last night. Don't wait too late, because you don't want to be left behind.